Hi, Danielle here from BCO SciComm team, and today I'm here with
Sorcha, also on the BCO SciComm team.
And we're going to talk to you a bit about one of my favorite planets, Saturn, because it's just so beautiful and it's got stunning rings.
So these rings are pretty old. They were formed back when Saturn and the rest of the solar system formed. And what we actually think they're made up of are old moons. So what happens is that these moons got really nice and close to Saturn, and the gravity of Saturn actually pulled these moons apart. It's really, really strong. And when that happened, all of the debris from the moon, so all of the rocks and dust and ice particles, they fell down into orbit around Saturn and formed these lovely, lovely rings.
And you were saying that this is called ring rain, right?
So ring rain happens right in here, and this is actually destroying the rings. So ring rain is all of the particles are being pulled down into the planet. And it's a bit like rain, so if you were standing on the planet's surface somehow, you'd have lots of rain falling down you, but it wouldn't be nice water rain, it would be lots of rocks and dust and ice, so it wouldn't be nice, you wouldn't be safe in there. But what's actually happening is that all of this stuff is pulling it down all the way in here, and it's actually destroying the rings. It's going to take about 100 million years for it to be destroyed.
I was going to say, because they're so beautiful, so it's kind of hard to think of them being destroyed, but we've got some time with the rings before they disappear.
We don't have to worry about it.
Don't have to worry too much about that. Now, I get asked a lot, can you actually walk on the rings of Saturn?
So, you could. Maybe. So the rings are made up of loads of particles, as I said, and these particles range in size in loads of different sizes. So it's as small as micrometers to as big as kilometers. But most of them are between around 1 centimeter and about 10 meters on average, most of it. But on them you could stand on them, you could walk around. If you had something to stick yourself to them, you'd be able to walk around, but you wouldn't be able to drive or run around the whole thing. It's not one solid surface going all the way around.
They look like a solid ring, like a solid track that you could just like run across, but you really can't.
No.
You have to walk on parts of the rings.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So you talked about the moons that were broken up around Saturn, and Saturn's really big. It's a big planet, so it's got lots of moons around it. And what's even more exciting is what's new about Saturn.
There were 20 new moons discovered just this week, or announced just this week, so it's very exciting. And Saturn now has the most moons in the solar system.
Yeah, how cool is that?
It has 82 moons now, and there's even more moonlets, so loads of tiny little things also orbiting around it. So it has really, really loads of friends out there with it.
Loads of friends. I mean, constantly we have new discoveries going on. So you can actually see Saturn in the sky without a telescope, right? It's a naked eye planet.
It is. It is the furthest planet away that we can see with the naked eye, and it's really, really far. It is 1.4 billion kilometers away, so it's really, really far, but that doesn't stop us being able to see it. It's really nice and bright, like a really bright star in the south of the sky.
Yeah, and exactly. So it kind of looks like a star in the sky, but you can see it through a telescope. And even with a small telescope, you can see the rings. It kind of just looks like a bean a bit. If you had a little bit bigger telescope, then you can start to make out the rings really well. But you don't need anything huge. You don't need a massive telescope to be able to see the rings of Saturn like the one we have upstairs, right?
No, absolutely not.
What can we see with the one upstairs?
With the one upstairs, we can see it nice and close, and we can see loads of stuff. We can see all of the rings, and we can also see Titan pretty clearly, which is the biggest moon out by Saturn.
Yeah.
It's also bigger than Mercury, so it's bigger than an entire planet. If it was orbiting the sun on its own, it would definitely have a planetary status, but unfortunately it's one of Saturn's good friends, so it's staying close to Saturn and it doesn't get a planet status, but we can see that really, really clearly through the telescope upstairs.
Titan's really fascinating too, because there was a mission out to Titan, Huygens mission, and they actually landed a probe on the moon and realized that it's not like our moon. Our moon doesn't really have that much going on. Titan's really a world in its own. Like it looks kind of similar to Earth in a way. It's got like mountain valleys, and it's got liquid on the surface of the moon. Like that's really cool. But it's not liquid water, right?
No.
It's liquid methane. So if it were water, it'd be frozen solid. It's too far away to actually be water. It'd just be solid ice. So it's a liquid. Methane can actually be in a liquid state, and those cold temperatures on Titan, and it's actually got a cycle just like we have a water cycle here. It's got a methane cycle on the moon. So the way we have lakes and rivers of water, they have lakes and rivers of I say they like there's like life out on the Titan, but there are lakes and rivers of methane on the surface of the moon. So really, really cool place to explore. And we have future missions coming up to go out to the outer solar system as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's actually a really exciting mission planned called the Dragonfly mission, which is going to be really cool. Basically, they're going to send this rotor craft that can take off vertically and land vertically, and it's going to fly around on the surface of Titan and land and take off in different places and do as much research as it can on the surface of Titan, find out even more. Because back when the Huygens mission was there, they were very, very excited about it. It transmitted for a full 90 minutes, which is really exciting. And what was really exciting about the Huygens mission was that it was the first mission to land on a moon that wasn't our own, and it was the furthest away landing we ever had. So we're really excited to try that again.
That's really cool. So stay tuned for future missions to Saturn, and we'll have updates with lots of stuff along the way. So make sure that you follow along and maybe see Sorcha and I in a few more videos coming up, right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Bye for now.
Bye.